So I want to talk to you about the perfect pitch deck and why it doesn't really exist. I've got 10 top tips. Number 1, the killer pitch deck doesn't exist. A lot of founders that I work with want to talk about what they put in the pitch deck, how to make it compelling, how to make it venture backable, all of those good things about what makes an amazing pitch deck. And the reality is this: you're the pitch. All a pitch deck can do is A, open doors, so if it's cold and you need to open doors to meet investors, get you in the door, but really, when you're in the room, you're the pitch. So it's great to have this supporting material, but the notion of a killer pitch deck is that there is no killer pitch deck. Number 2, pitching is performance. What I always tell founders that are gonna go and pitch investors like us is go and learn to sing, go and learn to dance, get on stage, learn stand-up comedy, because everything is this performative piece. Number 3, make sure that before you even start your pitch deck, you get your purpose, mission, vision, and position on paper. And a lot of this has got nothing to do with what you do as a business. So purpose being why you get out of bed. Mission, now this is something that sometimes I use the wrong terminology for, or people have different definitions of the word. A mission to me is the next achievable thing. You're raising a sum of capital to achieve a big goal, like an 18-month goal or something like that. So missions to me are an achievable time box thing. So have a think about how you articulate your big goal, your big mission. Vision, everyone knows what vision is. It's that big hairy thing over the horizon. What world are you changing? When you're pitching people like me, you're going to be talking from origin to vision. So where are you now? Where did this idea come from? And how is the world that you're going to change? What does that world look like that you're going to change? So make sure you can articulate origin to vision. And then position is probably the most important thing. Positioning is not what most people think it is, but it's pitch plus difference, pitch plus differentiation. We do X for Y to create Z value. What we don't do is what those guys and girls do over there. So that's how you position. It's your pitch plus what you don't do. If you want that, go there. If you want this, we are awesome at this one thing. Number 4, the origin story is much more important than you think. A lot of founders that I work with get really stuck into the weeds of this thing and the world that they're changing and the technology and the product, and I totally get all that. But what a lot of investors are really interested in is why you. You'll often hear us talk about the why you, why this, why now mantra. The why you piece, or the origin story, is just so crucially important. And it's not just why you the business, but it's why you the person. Often why you woke up and one day decided to get out of corporate land and start your startup is very connected with what you do as the business. So don't ever forget the origin story. Often you will win the crowd, win the room, or even in text, win the email just by telling your origin story. Number 5, tell stories. You've heard people like me say this a million times, but tell stories. Everything about a great pitch is a narrative. It's about a beginning, middle, and an end. So don't ever be afraid to tell a story, tell a narrative. If you look at the greats like Steve Jobs when he was on stage, when he was alive, he took you on this very emotional journey from how this thing was, he was thinking about this, he was walking, or he's in the shower, he's doing this thing, and he would take the audience on this incredible emotional undulating journey. So get really, really good at telling stories, and don't be afraid to dumb it down. Investors are invariably stupid, so tell it like you're telling a 7-year-old child. Number 6, if you forget everything else in a live pitch, just remember why us, why this, why now. Number 7, follow and break rules. A lot of the pitch decks that I see, and I see maybe 10 to 15 pitch decks a day, a lot of the decks are problem, solution, team, finances, go-to-market, all the stuff that you know. Yes, you have to cover all of the staples in your pitch deck, but break some rules. Tell the audience something they don't know. Infuse, engage, motivate, inspire, humor. A friend of mine, Gabby Kahane from Stride, what he will do is talk about the brain harpoon. And what he suggests to founders, and I love this notion, on slide 4 or 5, really punch the audience in the face with an oh wow, oh my God, I didn't know that. So you can be quite assumptive in pitch decks, but follow the rules, cover all the staples, but make sure you break some rules too. Number 8, one key message per slide is all you need. Going back to that narrative flow, if you can just think of one key message per slide when you're taking the audience on that flow with you through your storyline, it's all too easy to try and pack, oh, I know this thing, or we do this thing as well, or don't do that if you can help it. Just one key message, next slide. One key message, next slide. Number 9, the world is full of negativity, be positive. I see a lot of pitch pitch decks where it's this competitor is awful, the world is broke, and this is bad, and I understand that emotive hook. But if you can, always find the positive to the message that you're trying to put. Obviously, as the audience or as the reader of this pitch material, we know what you're saying, but always try and avoid the negatives, or that's bad, or they're awful, or this is terrible. If you can, frame everything in the positive. And 10, last but not least, when you're in the room with investors, it's incredibly important that you share the energy. You deserve to be in that room with them. Just because we're holding the checkbook, don't think for 1 minute that this isn't an equitable relationship. Remember, we need you more than you need us. If you don't build a big business, we don't earn any money. So make sure when you're pitching that you ask questions. You don't laugh at my stupid jokes. You don't accept everything that I'm saying. Kick back, have discussions, ask questions and engage. Just make sure that you share the energy in the room.